Welcome to Start the Balance this lovely Tuesday morning here at the Repsol Center. We're live on Zoom. My name is Lori. So thank you very much for joining me today. So Starting the Balance is a little bit of strength, it's a little bit of balance, a little bit of Pilates, a little bit of yoga, all blended into one. And we're here to have fun. And remember, I'm only your tour guide here, so listen to your body. If it's not digging what you're doing, please pull back and do what's right for you. So we're going to start standing with the legs about hip width apart. And I'm going to be using some toning balls today, but you can use soup cans, you can use water bottles, or you can just use your own weight. So you choose where you're at today. So standing with your legs hip width apart, I want you to lift your toes, give them a little wiggle, light them up. We're going to bend our knees just slightly, and that's going to allow our pelvic floor to fall naturally underneath us. So my hips and pubic bone will be on the same plane. Let's lift those shoulders and give them a beautiful roll, open up that shoulder girdle. And then in the opposite direction. And I just want you to feel those fingertips reach towards the floor. And then I just want you to let that body just move. Just waking our senses up, finding ourselves on our mat, giving ourselves a little bit of a pat on the back for being here today. And then just let those fingertips reach towards the floor. We're going to inhale, we're going to reach those arms up. And let's just at exhalation, we're going to draw them down, cross them out in front. Inhale up. And let's add a little squat here. Inhale, exhale. Growing nice and tall. Using your own breath, whether it's a Pilates breath, yoga breath, but just breathe. Our breath is a life. And let's go for 3, 2. Oh, when holding those arms up, I want you to take that left wrist, really reaching up and tall and up and over. Take my breath into my upper left rib cage. And then slowly come back to center. Let's take that right wrist. Reaching back and then just give you a little lateral flexion over to the left. Our breath comes into that upper right rib cage. And then slowly come back down. Let's sweep those arms down by our side. We're going to sink yourself back into that chair. Palms my hands together, thumbs to heart center. Keep those elbows high. Let's shift our weight on the balls of our feet. And we're going to lift that torso just a couple inches, a little pulse. Making those inner thighs drawing towards one another. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. Oh, I'm holding it down, but keep those heels lifted. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. Well, we're going to lower those heels. I want you to lift that right knee up. Finding the balance within. Lift that knee a tiny bit higher. We're going to step it to the back of our mat. Reaching those arms up. Bring those arms out into a T. We're going to reach those arms forward. And then we're going to do that. We're going to reach forward. And back. As I reach back, shoulder blades are drawn to the center of the spine. And you lift that chest a little bit higher towards the ceiling. Let's go for 3, 2. Oh, I'm holding it here. Let's lower those arms, bring that body upright. We're going to take that back foot. I want you to slide it in, slide it out, slide it in, slide it out. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, we're going to drive that knee up. Keeping that knee aligned with my hip, flexing that foot. I want you to take that leg out and in, out and in. Finding that balance. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. 1, holding it out. Can I bend that knee slightly? And then come up. We're going to bend and up. Let's go for 4, 3. Oh, lost my balance there. 2. 1, let's sweep that leg back, give yourself a little curtsy, and step up to the side. Sink it down and up. So add a little running arm. Only going down as deep as those hips and those knees will permit you. And let's go for 3, 2. 1, we're going to hold it here. Keep that chest lifted, elbow tight under, little pulse. Warming up those strides, bring some beautiful blood flow. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly come up. Come back to center. We're going to inhale to reach those arms up. Let's just an exhalation. We're going to come back into that chair position. Beautiful. We're going to float that left knee up. We're going to lift that torso slightly. I want you to draw that knee up. We're going to step that leg to the back of our mat. Keep that chest nice and tall. Then we're going to hinge. We're going to draw that knee in and out. So slide it in and out. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's draw that knee up, flexing that foot. I want you to keep that leg out and in, out and in. Think of leading with that heel. Energy is reaching out. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it there. A little lower the hips and then lower and out. Look at that core engage. Belly button front in and up underneath that rib cage. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Let's sweep that leg over to the right. A little curtsy and nice and easy. I want you to engage through that right glute. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it here, a little pause. Keep that chest lifted, tailbones tucked under. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ever so slowly, we're going to come up. Let's march those legs. Bringing those knees so that they're in line with my hips. We're going to march wide. Think of that sumo wrestler. Lower those hips. Pry those feet up. And let's bring those feet to a stillness. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. We're going to hinge from the hips. Hands on my thighs. We tuck the tailbone. I'm going to reach it back towards the ceiling and back to the flat back. Bring mobility into that spine. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding that flat back. Let's release those arms. Let them hang like a rag doll. We're going to lower that chest towards the thighs. Let's reach those elbows so that they're in line with my shoulders. Drop those hips. Lift that chest and pop that body forward. We're going to pick that up and come down and pop. Think of thrusting those hips forward. We want to open the frontal planes of that torso. And let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it there. With that chest a little bit closer towards the ceiling. Get a little extension through that spine. And smile. Let's lower those hands. Bring that body upright ever so slowly. Bring all the way up. Let's heel toe those feet together. We're going to inhale. We're going to reach this arms up. We're going to exhale. We're going to forward fold. Inhale, half lift that spine. Exhale, in those knees, plant those hands. We're going to invite you to step or jump back into your high plank. So draw those shoulder blades back. Gazes towards the floor. And think of that belly drawing to the back of your spine. We're going to take that left knee. I want you to draw it to the outside of that left elbow and step back. Right elbow, and back. You can do this from your knees or from your toes. Warming up that core, bringing mobility into our hips. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding that plank. We're going to lower one knee, followed by the opposite. Let's see the tops of our feet to the floor. From here, we're going to sink those hips back into our child's pose, reaching the arms up in front. We need to draw from the chest towards the floor, along with your armpits. We're going to tent through the palms of our fingers, or our palms, and finding the energy from my fingertips. Let's use that energy to slide ourselves forward, shoulders slightly past the wrist, and back to the child's pose. So just flowing through this movement, using your own breath. I'm going to inhale as I draw forward. Exhale back. And let's go for 3, 2. I'm just holding that child's pose for 1 deep breath. And I'm sliding back into that kneeling plank. Adjust those knees directly underneath our hips. Bring yourself into a tabletop. Spread those fingers. We're going to tuck our toes beneath us. And let's hover our knees, maybe an inch to 2 inches off our mat. Engage it through the core. We're going to extend that left leg up nice and long. We're going to lift and lower. So leading with that heel, you can drop that right knee anytime. And let's look for 4, 3, 2. When holding your that, we're going to sweep it over towards the right. Drop your right knee, extend that right leg, bring yourself into your side plank. So press through the back right arm. Shoulders are stacked upon one another. We're going to float back the left leg out. Keeping that foot flexed. Can we bend that left knee, bend the right elbow, drop them together, and drop your hips to the back. And then reach away. Inhale down. Exhale, really find that reach. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding that reach. Those heels are reaching away as those fingertips are reaching in the opposite direction. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly come back into a tabletop. And let's wiggle those hips back. And then slowly swivel them forward. We're going to do this on the right side. So tuck your toes beneath you. We're going to float those knees so that we're just hovering. Broaden those shoulders. Let's extend that right leg. Flexing that foot. We're going to lower and then we're going to lower and lift. Feeling the energy in that left quad. 3, 2. When holding it there, we're going to sweep it over to the left. Drop the left knee, extend that left leg, and coming up into your kneeling side plank. Let's float that right leg up, keep that foot flexed. We're going to bend the knee, bend the elbow, draw those limbs together, and then reach away. So as I draw them together, lower that right hip towards your left heel. And then press those hips forward. So for 3, 2, 1. Holding that reach. And then slowly unwind, coming back into that tabletop. From that tabletop, when you tuck your toes beneath you, float those knees and then come into your downward dog. So adjust those legs, adjust those hands. And making the drawing that chest towards your thighs. Letting that head be loose. And let's walk that dog. So just treading through those feet. Letting that beautiful stretch happening in your calf and your Achilles. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding those heels down. Reach those hips up. And let's bend our knees. We're ever so slowly. Tippy toe those feet to our hands. So just hang like a rag doll. I'm going to take this sweater off. It's getting a bit warmer in here now. And just let those arms hang. Maybe drawing circles with your knuckles above the mat. Then in the opposite direction. Now let's bring those arms to stillness, planting those feet. We're going to tuck the tailbone under slowly. Restack that spine against that imaginary wall. 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's inhale. Let's reach those arms up. And let's just have exhalation. We're going to forward fold. Inhale. We're going to half lift that spine. Let's reach those arms out into a T. Strengthen that through our upper thoracic spine. From here, we're going to bend the knees, lower hips, reach those arms up in front, bring ourselves into our chair position or squat. We're going to hinge forward. We're going to reach for our weights or our water bottles, our soup pans. We're going to bend those knees, lower those hips, reach those arms out in front. We're going to take that left arm, reach it back, right arm forward. We're going to switch and switch and switch, adding an extension of that torso. So roll through those feet. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and holding that squat. Chest is nice and proud. Keep that tailbone slightly tucked under so we can protect that lower back. Let's come up on the balls of our feet. Finding the balance within. Maybe ever so slowly come all the way up. Let's lower those heels. Reach those arms up into a T. Let's bring them into what I call chicken arms or goddess arms. So we're reaching those arms back. We're going to take that right leg. I want you to step it out to the right. Give me a little squat. We draw our elbows into our rib cage, and then we come back to center. Step over to the left and up. Going down as deep as those knees and hips will permit you. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Let's reach those arms out to the side. We're going to lower. I want you to extend that right leg out. And we're going to come more into a squat. So bend that left leg. We're going to bring our elbows into our rib cage. And I want you to lift that right leg and lower. As I lift, we're going to open those arms. Keeping that right foot flexed. And let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we hold it here? Little pause. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to sweep that leg back. I want you to step it down, lower those arms. I want you to hinge from the hips. We're going to pop that right leg up. Beautiful. We're going to lower that right leg. As I lift, I want you to lift that right arm. So my heart is just slightly higher than my hips. The crown of my head is reaching to the top of the mat. And let's go for 3, 2, 1. We're going to slide that right leg in. Ever so slowly, squeeze those glutes all the way up. Reaching those arms up. We're going to forward fold. We're going to half lift that spine. Let's hold that half lift. We're going to reach those arms out into a T. Bend those knees, lower those hips, sweep those arms forward. We're going to take that left arm, reach it back, and forward. So alternate those arms, adding that squat. So think of a skier. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way up. Let's bring those arms into our chicken arms. Elbows are drawn back, shoulders drop to the center of your spine. We're going to take that left leg. We're going to step over to the left. Give me a little squat. And out. So reaching those weights, whatever we're using, towards the ceiling. And let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach those arms back, elbows are tucked in. We're going to slide that left leg out, bending that right leg slightly. We're going to lift that leg and lower. Keeping that foot flexed. As I lift, can I open up those arms? So think of leading with that razor edge of your foot. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and holding it here, a little pause. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it there for a full breath. Then we're going to sweep it back, lower those arms. Let's lower that back foot for a moment. Regain your composure, hinging slightly forward. We're going to lift that left leg, keeping it flexed. Lift that left arm. And then we're going to lower and lift. Trying to keep your hips square to the mat beneath you. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you hold it there? Lower that left arm. Keep that left leg lifted. We're going to bend that left leg flat next to the right. Squeeze both of those cheeks to your derriere. With a flat back, let's come all the way up. As inhale, let's reach the arms up. Use that exhalation, we're forward fold. We're going to half lift that spine, holding that half lift. Reaching those sit bones to the back of the room as the crown of my head draws to the top of my mat. Let those arms go. They're nice and heavy. We're going to bend our knees, lower those hips. Pop that chest up. We're going to bring those weights to heart center. We're going to lift those elbows. I want you to take that left elbow. I want you to draw it across your torso, and it's going to hook to the outside of that right knee. Right elbow reaching up along with the gaze. Think of those inner thighs trying to draw towards one another. Shins are parallel. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. We slow down and wind. Let's do that on the left. Let's take the right elbow. It's going to hook to the outside of the left knee. Left elbow up. Can I take my gaze up? Try and keep those hips on the same plane. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. We're going to slowly unwind. Let's lower those arms. We're going to lift that right heel. We're going to lift an inch, lower an inch. Lift an inch, lower an inch. And let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it down, chest is proud, and I float that right knee up. Feeling the energy in that left ankle. We're going to lift that right knee a tiny bit higher. We're going to step that leg to the back of the mat and reach that chest up. So nice and proud. Let's reach those arms up. Bring yourself into that crescent lunge. Chest is lifting towards the ceiling. Tailbones tucked under. Look at that beautiful extension through that lower back. Then coming upright. Let's bring those arms back into our chicken or goddess arms. I want you to rotate your palms towards the floor. So my legs are like standing on railway tracks. We're going to take that left arm. I want you to draw it across your torso as the right arm draws back. So think of punching across that torso. Trying to keep those hips square to the top of our mat. Really reaching across. So choose your breath, whether I inhale to reach across and exhale to drive back, or exhale across, inhale down. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower. Bring our elbows into our rib cage. We're going to lower those arms. I want you to hinge from the hips. So think of that hinge happening. Belly button strong in and up. And I'm going to place a barrel between your thigh and your chest. My gaze is at the top of my mat. I want you to think of a little eagle arm. Elbows are high, and then we're going to hug that barrel. We're going to lift and move. Now as I lift, draw those shoulder blades to the center of your spine. Open up the chest, strengthening the back. Adding the challenge. As I lift, can I lift that back leg? You choose where you're at today. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it down. I'm going to lift that chest up. I want you to float those arms back. Chest is proud. Palms are facing the ceiling. I want you to lift those weights, maybe 3-4 inches and lower. We lift and lower. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. holding it there, we're going to rotate our palms so that they're facing one another. We're going to tap the balls behind our derriere, and then we're going to open tip them. We're going to tap and open. Reach those arms out of your shoulder. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Holding it there, that's over. Let those arms hang. We're going to lift that right foot up, step it next to the left. Squeeze your derriere, slowly come up, reaching those arms up. Let's forward fold. We're going to half lift that spine. Let's hold that half lift. Find that length of our spine. Breathe space between each of our vertebrae. Knees are slightly bent. Now I want you to lower the hips, bend those legs, reach those arms out. Bring ourselves into a chair. Let's bring those weights together. Bring the weights to the center of our chest. We're going to take that left elbow. We're going to draw it across. It's going to hook. On the outside of that right knee, gaze is upwards. Now to get a little bit more of a twist, try to bring those weights so your thumb is to heart center. And slowly unwind. Let's do it to the opposite side. Back to center. We're going to lower those arms. We're going to lift that left heel. Keep that chest proud. Maybe drop those hips a little bit more. We lift an inch, lower an inch. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding those hips low. Let's float that left leg up. Finding that energy, that strength, and that right ankle along with the right quad. Let's lift that knee a tiny bit higher. We're going to step it to the back of the mat and up nice and tall. Reaching those arms up. Bring yourself into a crescent lunge. Drawing those shoulders slightly down. And be nice and proud. Tailbones tucked under. Slowly come upright. Bring those arms back into that goddess arm. We're going to lower the palms so that they're facing the floor. We're going to take that right arm. I want you to draw it across the torso. Left elbow's reaching back, and then come back to center. Left across, and back. Am I standing on that railway track? Are my hips not underneath me? Lots and lots of things to think about. Trying to keep those hips square to the front of the room. So that waist is pivoting on top of my hips. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring those elbows into our rib cage. Lower those hands. We're going to hinge from the hips. So think of that right hip is reaching back. I've got that barrel resting on my thigh and on my chest. I want you to reach those elbows up, shoulders are drawn together, and give me that big hug. I know some of us have watched Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, so think of him. As I'm drawing down, go, oh! Can we add that challenge, lifting that back leg as I release that hug? Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lower that leg. I want you to draw that chest upright, keeping a bend in that front leg. We're going to take our arms, we're going to reach them back. So draw them out of your shoulders. We're going to lift our arms maybe 3 to 6 inches off our lower back and lower. Palms to face the ceiling. And so for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in there. Reach those weights away. Rotate your palms so that they're facing one another. We're going to tap the weights. Then we're going to open those hands as wide as our hips. We're going to tap and open. Tap and open. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in there. Really reach out. Let's lower those arms. Let them hang. We're going to put our weight into that right foot. We're going to float that left leg up. We're going to tap it down. Squeeze both of those cheeks of our derriere. Slowly come up with a flat back. Let's reach those arms up. And then we're forward fold. We're going to half lift that spine. We're going to forward fold. And let's this time tuck your tail behind. Reset that spine against an imaginary wall. Feeling that sequencing out of that spine stretch. Come on, way up. Roll those shoulders. I want you to tuck your elbows into your ribcage. Palms are facing away. We're going to float that right knee up. I want you to draw that knee out to the right side of the room. Point to that toe. We're going to lower the toe. We're going to lift. As I lift, give me a little bicep curl. I'm going to really resist as I draw the palms towards my shoulders. So if I concentrate on that muscle in my bicep, and I'm really resisting, you can get a little bit more forward half. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we hold that knee up? Draw the sole of my foot into my calf. Maybe my toes on the floor, or maybe it's high on my inner thigh. I want you to choose your arm position for your tree. Maybe my arms are out into a T with that big evergreen that's sitting maybe in my front room. Maybe reaching it up, thinking of that poplar. Now, wherever we are, maybe close your eyes. Maybe take your gaze over the right shoulder. Or maybe this is enough for you today. Try and keep those hips square to the front of our mat. So for 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms back down to your side. Knee forward. We will lift it a little bit higher. I want you to step it to the back of your mat. Pivoting the back foot, bring ourselves into our warrior 2 stance. I'm going to stand this way so you can see. So hips are underneath me. Nice bend in that front leg. Let's reach those arms out to the side. Keeping those shoulders and wrists on the same plane. And draw those hips so that they're square to the front of the mat. Hips are drawn underneath. I want you to rotate your palms towards the ceiling. We're going to reach those arms up. As I reach them up, I want you to straighten that left leg. And then come back down. We draw up. And down. I'm going to follow that left weight with my eyes, adding a little bit more core connection. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding that warrior 2 position. Can we bring it into a reverse warrior by taking that right arm? I want you to reach. So my ribs are just shifting, rotating that right palm. We're going to lower to the back of our leg, reaching that left arm. And it's just reaching through that weight. And we slowly come back into that warrior 2. Let's bend the front forearm, lowering on the front thigh, reaching that back, right arm up and slightly over. With an extended side angle. And I want you to take that left arm. I want you to reach out, holding that big exercise ball, and we slowly draw it up. Let's bring those arms back into that warrior 2 position. We're going to take that right arm. I want you to reach it towards the left wrist. We're going to slide that weight on the inseam of our arm across the chest and open it up nice and wide. Try that 2 more times. Think of a bow and arrow. Drawing across. Following that way with my eyes. As lower those arms, we're going to pick up that back heel pivot. I want you to slowly hinge from the hips. Weights are going to frame that left foot. I want you to pop that right leg up. Drawing my chest towards my left thigh. We're going to bend that right knee. Bending the left knee. That right knee is going to come inside of that left knee and then you pop. Bring them over and lift. And let's go for 3, 2, 1. Holding it there. Maybe releasing my fingers from my weights. Maybe hold it onto that left ankle. Wherever we are, placing my hands back on my weights on the floor. Bend that way. Place it next to the left. Set the tailbone under slowly. Roll us up 1 root at a time. Towing that upright position. So let's reach the thumbs up. Give yourself that little bit of a back extension. Let's come upright. Let's sweep our arms down by our sides. Elbows are going to be tucked into my rib cage. So let's start thinking of holding a ladder. We're going to float that left knee up. I want you to draw it over to the left side of the room, pointing that toe. I want you to lower the toe. As I lift that left knee, let's draw the weights towards the shoulders. So really resist as you're drawing up. So inhale lower, exhale up. Think of the shoulder blades are drawn to the center of your spine. Core is engaged by drawing the belly button to the back of the spine. And let's go for 3, 2, 1. Holding the chair. I'm going to lower those arms as if I'm holding a platter. Sole of my foot is going to come into my calf. Maybe my toe will come down to the floor. Or maybe behind my inner thigh. So I want you to choose your tree position. Hips are square to the front of our mat. Maybe my arms are out as if we're a big evergreen in our front room right now, all lit up. Reach those arms up towards the ceiling. Bring yourself into that popcorn. So grounding through that right foot. Maybe taking my knees over to the left shoulder. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Lower those arms. Bring that knee back to center. We're going to hinge from the hips. We're going to step that foot to the back of the mat. Heavily that foot into our warrior 2 stance. Let's reach those arms out into our warrior 2 arm. Try to square those hips on top of the mat. We're going to rotate our palms towards the ceiling. We're going to lift those arms, straighten that right leg, and back into that warrior 2 with a triangle. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and holding that warrior 2. Let's bring it into our salted or reverse warrior. Palms facing the floor. Let's take that left arm. Let's reach it back. We're just pivot. We're just shifting through the ribs. Lower that arm. Rotate the front arm. Reach it back. Take my gaze upwards. Maybe bring yourself into a half line on the side. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Coming back into that warrior 2. Let's bend the front forearm. Lower the front thigh. Reach down, up and over. Bring yourself into that extended side angle. So be careful with those shoulders. Draw that shoulder blade down to the center of your spine. Now we're going to take that right arm. I want you to reach it out. Holding that big stability ball. Challenging that core. And then ever so slowly, reach it up. Bring yourself back into that warrior 2. Let's lower those arms. Pick up the back heel. We're going to pivot forward. I want you to hinge from the hips. Lower those hands so that they frame the right foot, and we're going to pop that left leg back. From here, I want you to draw your chest towards your thighs. Bend deep in that left leg. Bending the right, we're going to draw that left knee to the inside of that, right? And then we're going to pop it up. Keeping that left foot flexed. Trying to make an imprint on the ceiling above. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it here. Maybe releasing our hands from the floor, from our weights. Maybe holding onto that right ankle. Challenge challenge yourself. Whatever it looks like today, it'll look different tomorrow. Then place the hands back down on the legs, bending that left leg, plant it next to the right. Tuck the tailbone under, but slowly roll yourself off. So we're going to be coming down on the floor. Then inhale, we're going to reach those arms up. Just that exhalation, we're moving forward, fold. Here, I want you to bend your knees. We're going to reach those legs slightly up to the sides, planting our palms, one knee down, followed by the opposite. So I just want you to shift your hips back, and then we're going to shift forward. We're going to take a weight in the right hand, and then we're going to float that left knee slightly up off the floor. I want you to reach that right arm out, and we're going to reach that left leg nice and long behind us. We're going to lower our limbs, and we're going to lift. Lower and lift. So for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it here. Slowly slide them back underneath us. Let's reach that weight out to the side. We're going to take the weight in the left hand. We're going to float that right knee up. So feel that core engaged. We're going to reach that left arm out. We're going to lift. We're going to extend that right leg out. Flexing that foot. We're going to lower our limbs and we're going to lift. Lower and lift. Trying to keep those hips stable. And let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it here. Slowly slide back into our tabletop. Let that weight go to the side. We're going to take that left hip over towards the left heel. Sweeping your hips over to the right. And then to the left. Really reaching those hips towards your heels, stretching through that glute. And then just holding your hips back. Give yourself a little wiggle. It releases the tension, but it's also kind of fun. And then slowly tuck the tail under. We're going to come up to that tabletop. Let's lower one hip towards the mat, sweeping those legs out in front of us. And we're going to find those sit bones. So moving a little bit of luggage around. And then just give yourself that little bit of a wiggle. Brings blood flow to that bone and makes the bone nice and healthy. So my feet are going to be flexed. My knees are going to be slightly bent. I want you to take one weight in your hands. We're going to hinge from the hips. So give yourself some rest and you slightly back until you feel a slight growth within your abdominals. We're going to reach those arms out in front. Setting those shoulders. We're going to take the ball in our left hand. We're going to open. And then we're going to slope upright. We're going to close. We're going to hinge back. We're going to transfer the weight into the right arm. So inhale back. Exhale forward. Or play around with that breath. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold it here. We're going to lift one heel, followed by the opposite. Let's bring that weight forward. Draw those knees in. And then we're going to reach those arms up. As I reach those legs up, we draw in. And up. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we hold that form of the boat? Chest is proud. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And let's lower those heels. Reach those hands up. Reflex up and over those thighs. So we're going to scoop through the abdominals, hollow through the chest, rounding through that upper back. And let's slowly restack that spine all the way up. And place that weight down by my side for a moment. I want you to slide that left knee in. Give it that big, beautiful hug. And then we're going to take that foot We're going to cross it over the left. I want you to take that right hand, we're going to bring it behind your lower back. Use it as a kickstand. Straighten that spine. We're going to reach that left arm. And then I want you to draw that left arm. And it's going to hug that right hip. And I'm going to slowly unwind. That leg's going to be nice and long. Let's hug that right knee. Bring it right into your chest. Spine is long. And we're going to float it over. Left hand back, using it as a kickstand. Right arm's going to come up. We're going to sweep it. It's going to give that left hip a little hug, looking over that left shoulder. And then we're going to slowly unwind. We're going to take the weights, one weight in one hand. I want you to take the tailbone under my shoulder. Roll us up all the way down onto our mat. Increment a little bit of an angle here so you can see me. I want you to reach those arms up and over. We're going to take the weight in the right hand. The left arm is going to come out into a T by our side. We're going to roll slightly onto our left hip, so on that meaty part of our derriere. We're going to take that right arm. I want you to reach that and across, and I want you to lift that right leg, and then we're going to lift and lower. So if you can take that right hip, we're drawing it across to the left side. I did a challenge maybe both of those legs lift. As I press that left palm in towards the floor. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it here. Let's slowly unwind. We're going to transfer the weight into the opposite hand. Right arm out into T, left arm up and over. We're going to reach that left arm up. We're going to cross over as I cross over that left hip. We'll lift. Coming up. I'm going to tip my shoulder blades and lower. So maybe one leg. Or maybe both. You find your challenge. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we hold that lift? Slowly lowering down, reaching both of those arms up and over, sliding those legs into butterfly. You could let the wings of my butterfly flutter, leaving any tension in those hip flexors. Let's reach that weight directly above our chest. We're going to nod our chin, come up to the tips of our shoulder blades, and we're going to lower that weight, reach it down towards the toes, wrists towards the hip bones, and leave. Now as I reach, can I float my feet slightly up off the floor, getting deeper in those internal glutes. And let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding that reach. So we lower those feet, reach the arms up and over, let that weight go. So usually your arms down by your side, bring those knees together. We're going to heel toe those feet as wide as the mat. And just let those arms rest wherever they feel comfortable, and just windshield wiper those knees from side to side. And then bring those knees back to center, heel toe those feet together. Hop those legs up into that tabletop. Bring the soles of my feet towards the ceiling. Really reaching those heels up, reaching those arms up. And I just want you to waterfall those limbs. Bringing blood flow back into the heart. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give those knees a lovely hug. Back to us, soles of our feet on the floor. Sliding those legs up nice and long. Bringing ourselves into our final pose, our Shanasana, our resting pose. If there's any other little stretch that the body is craving to complete your practice, by all means, do that before you come into Shanasana. But wherever you are, let's close your eyes. Deepen our breath. And allowing the breath to absorb what we've created, both physically and spiritually in the last 50-some minutes. Allowing that breath to release any chatter. Feeling that breath scan from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. As we're scanning, bring some movement back within. Could be wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, nodding your heads, yes and no. Letting that body squirm on top of the mat beneath you. And then slowly rolling to one side into a fetal position. It can be your right side for your yin, or your left side for your yang. And then ever so slowly press yourself up into a comfortable sitting position. My comfortable sitting position is legs in a diamond, sitting nice and tall, finding that length of my spine. Reaching those arms out into a T, drawing them slightly back, welcoming the practice within. Let's draw those arms up, palms of our hands together. Let's bring our thumbs to heart center. I want to thank you all for joining me today and allowing me to be part of your practice today. It was an honor. So may the light within me enlighten the light with you. And as we leave our practice today, may we have a little bit more spunk in our step and in our spirit. So namaste to everyone.